You've probably heard people say, you need to know your dream customer. But what does that really mean? How do you actually figure out who you're talking to when you don't even have a customer base yet? Or you've only sold to your friends and family? In this episode, we're going beyond generic advice and diving into how to actually define your dream customer without guessing. I'll walk you through the exact questions and strategies I use to figure mine out, how it transformed the way I market my jewelry, and how you can do the same for your biz, whether you're just starting out or ready to refine. Hey friend, I'm Cassandra, creator of Pretty Pineapple Bead and your host here at Sparkle and Shine, the podcast where we talk small biz, mindset, color, and confidence as you build the life and business of your dreams. Today's episode is all about something that completely shifted how I show up in my business, getting clear on my dream customer. It's one of those foundational pieces that affects everything, your offers, your content, your vibe, your voice. And yet so many of us skip this step or overcomplicate it. So whether you're brand new or pivoting and ready for more alignment, let's break it down together. This episode is part strategy, part story time, and part journal prompt. So if you want to grab a notebook, now's the time. Why finding your dream customer matters more than you think. Let's start with something that a lot of new business owners skip or breeze past, really getting clear on who you're trying to reach. I know when I first started Pretty Pineapple Bead, the idea of defining a dream customer felt confusing and a little abstract. I was like, aren't my products for anyone who likes jewelry? And I hear that from so many new business owners too. It feels like you're limiting yourself by getting specific. But what I've learned, especially over the last few years, is that when you try to speak to everyone, you actually connect with no one. Getting crystal clear about your dream customer changes everything. It influences how you describe your products, what kind of content you create, how you show up on social media, and even what new offers or collections you build next. If you've ever felt stuck with your marketing or unsure what to say in a post, chances are it's because you haven't fully defined who you're speaking to. When you know your dream customer deeply, not just her age and favorite color, but how she wants to feel, your content becomes more aligned. Your brand starts to feel magnetic, and honestly, you stop spinning your wheels trying to please everyone. Let me tell you what this looked like for me. Early on, I was creating for whoever wanted cute jewelry. That was way too broad. Over time, I started to notice a pattern in the customers who truly loved Pretty Pineapple Bead. They were women who lit up around color. They were creative, a little outdoorsy, confident, or at least they wanted to feel more confident. Many of them were like a future version of myself, someone with a bit more disposable income, a strong personal style, and a deep appreciation for handmade, meaningful products. Once I understood that, once I saw her clearly, it changed how I wrote product descriptions, how I named collections, how I shared stories, even what colors I focused on. I wasn't making jewelry for just anyone. I was creating for her. And that's when things started to click. If you're just starting out or still feeling unclear, I want you to journal on this. So here's a few prompts to get you started. Who is the person I really want to serve? What does she care about? What kind of life does she want to live? How does my product or service help her step into that life? Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just right from the heart. You can always refine it later. Start with you because you are the brand. Here's something I wish more people said out loud. You are allowed to be the blueprint for your business. So many of us start by looking outward. What's trending, what other brands are doing, what we think we're supposed to be. But the most magnetic businesses I've seen, they're ones that start from within, from alignment, from the heart. When I finally stopped trying to fit into some idea of what a real business was supposed to look like and instead leaned into what made me feel lit up, that's when Pretty Pineapple Bead really started to grow. So before you build your dream customer profile, I want you to start by asking, who am I as a person and as a maker? What do I value? What do I want to be known for? And most importantly, what kind of person do I want to attract into my business? Let's get personal for a second. Pretty Pineapple Bead started because I needed a creative outlet. It wasn't about sales. It was about feeling calm and confident and joyful while creating. It was about sorting beads in the sunshine, building something colorful with my hands, and using creativity as a form of healing. So it makes sense that my brand would naturally attract other women who crave that same joy, that same sense of calm, confidence, and creativity. My dream customer, she honestly is a version of me, just a little bit further along. She's living a life that I aspire to. She's confident, colorful, and full of heart. And because I'm building from that place, every post, every product, and every podcast episode becomes more intentional. It's not just about what I think will sell. It's about what feels aligned, what honors my purpose, and what truly will connect with the woman I'm meant to serve. Real talk, you're building for your people. It's okay if not everyone gets it. You're not for everyone, and you shouldn't be. Trying to be liked by everyone only waters down your magic. But when you start with your own story, your own values, your own vibe, you attract your people. And if you love bold colors, lean into that. If you're goofy and love everyday humor, show that. If you're introverted and calm, that's beautiful too. Don't try to morph into a version of yourself you think your audience wants to see. Let who you are guide who you serve. Because when your dream customer finds you, she'll feel seen and so will you. If you're building your brand from the ground up or recentering after a pivot, spend some time on some of these journal prompts. What inspired me to start this business? What do I value most in life and in business? What do I want my brand to feel like when people interact with it? And if my dream customer is the future version of me, what does she care about? The power of a detailed dream customer profile. Once you've done the inner work and started to get clear on who you are as a brand, the next step is to define who you are talking to. And I don't mean just writing down women ages 25 to 55 who like jewelry. Nope, that's not a dream customer profile. That's a really vague demographic, and it won't help you create real connection or drive meaningful sales. The kind of dream customer profile I want you to build, it's detailed, it's emotional, and it should feel like a real person you could actually sit down and have coffee with. So why does this even matter? Because when you know exactly who you're talking to, everything else gets easier. Your product descriptions, your Instagram captions, your launch strategy, your content, your offers, it all starts to click. I didn't understand this at first. When I started Pretty Pineapple Bead, I was kind of talking to everyone. And like I mentioned before, that means I was actually connecting with no one. It wasn't until I started asking myself, who do I want to wear my jewelry? What do they care about? How do I want them to feel when they shop with me? That I started to build real connection. Now I can picture my dream customer so clearly. She's 38. She's outdoorsy and nostalgic. She loves bright colors, meaningful gifts, and showing up in a way that feels confident and authentic. She's a list maker and a goal setter, and style is one of the many ways she expresses her creativity. Knowing this doesn't limit me, it actually grounds me. Your dream customer is a real person, not just a persona. This isn't just a branding exercise. It's a relationship building strategy. Because let me tell you, your dream customer, she wants to feel seen. She wants to feel like your products were made for her. And when she sees herself in your brand, she's more likely to trust you, support you, and stay with you for the long haul. So how do you actually figure this person out? Here's what I recommend. Start by writing a mini character sketch. Give your dream customer a name if it helps. Think about what she values, what her lifestyle is like, how she spends her time, where she shops, what lights her up, what struggles she's facing, and what she needs from you. The more detail, the better. And here's a tip. Use tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, Claude, or whatever AI platforms you prefer to help you expand your profile. You can type in something like, my customer is a 38-year-old woman who loves bold, colorful accessories and spending time outdoors. She values confidence, creativity, and meaningful self-expression. Help me develop a dream customer profile for my handmade jewelry brand. You can even ask it to generate ideas for content that would speak to her values, pain points, or lifestyle. It's not about letting AI do the thinking for you, but it's a powerful way to brainstorm and refine what's already in your heart. Need a real-world example? If your dream customer loves sunshine, hiking, and bright outfits, think about how your photos, captions, and products can reflect that. Could you show off a beaded bracelet against a backdrop of summer flowers? Could you write a caption like, for the woman who feels her best in bold colors and sunshine? And could you create a collection maybe inspired by nature or nostalgia? These kind of choices make your brand feel made for her. And that's what creates loyal, excited customers who come back again and again. All right, here's a few more journal prompts for you. Who is my dream customer really? Not just her age, but her energy, her interests, and her heart. What is she struggling with right now? And how can my brand help her feel more confident, joyful, or expressive? What kind of content or messaging would speak directly to her? Spot the signs of alignment. How to know when you're actually reaching your dream customer. You've done the groundwork. You've defined your dream customer. You've gotten super clear on who she is, what she values, how she wants to feel, and what kind of lifestyle she lives. But here's where things get interesting. How do you know if your dream customer work is actually working? How can you tell when your messaging, your products, and your content are really resonating with the women you want to serve? This part is all about recognizing the signs of alignment. When your dream customer is finding you, connecting with your message, and actually making moves based on what you're putting out there. What alignment actually looks like. Let's talk about what it feels like when your brand and your dream customer are in sync. You're getting DMs or comments that sound like, this is so me. It's like you're in my head, or this is exactly what I needed today. Your content feels easy to create because you know exactly who you're speaking to, and she's responding. People are tagging their friends, sharing your posts, or saving your content because it speaks to them. Your products are being bought as gifts for women who match your dream customer profile. You see the same type of customer returning again and again because she sees your brand as hers. You might even find yourself saying, I love my customers. That's a sign you're attracting the right people who value your creativity, your energy, and what you offer. What misalignment feels like. On the flip side, misalignment can be sneaky. It doesn't always show up as something dramatic. It might feel like you're getting engagement, but not from the people you actually want to attract. You're stuck creating content that feels forced or generic. Your messaging is all over the place, and you're not really sure what to say. You're making sales, but it doesn't really feel sustainable or aligned. Or you keep attracting people who ask you for discounts, want things that aren't your vibe, or don't understand the value of your work. Sometimes your gut just tells you, this doesn't feel like the right audience. And if that's the case, let's pause and reevaluate. Real talk. When I knew my dream customer was clicking. For me, I started noticing alignment when customers would message me saying how confident or colorful they felt wearing my jewelry. That's when I knew this is working. At markets, people started calling me the pineapple lady and would say things like, "Your booth just makes me happy," or "My sister would love this. It's so her." And that's when I realized the emotional connection was there. It wasn't just about beads or colors. It was about how the jewelry made them feel. That was the moment I knew I had tapped into something deeper. I wasn't just selling jewelry. I was selling confidence, creativity, and color. So, what do you do if you're not seeing alignment yet? First of all, you're not behind. You're just learning. If your dream customer isn't clicking yet, don't panic. Try asking yourself, is my message speaking directly to one person, or am I trying to talk to everyone? Does my content highlight what matters to her, or am I focusing too much on features instead of feelings? Are my visuals and voice aligned with what she loves, or am I playing it safe? And am I showing up with consistency and personality, or blending in with every other business in my niche? It's okay to shift. Sometimes alignment comes from testing, learning, and trying again with more intention. Here are some journal prompts to help you check for alignment. What compliments or feedback have I gotten from customers that felt really aligned with my vision? What kind of customer lights me up? And am I attracting more of her? Where might I be watering down my message to be for everyone instead of my dream customer? And what's one thing I could make this week to help my content or offer connect more deeply? When your dream customer sees herself in your brand, everything changes. She becomes more than a follower. She becomes an advocate. She's excited to buy from you, supports you, and tells others about you. That kind of alignment, that's where the magic happens. So, where do you find her? How to show up where your dream customer already hangs out. So, by now, you've done the inner work. You know who your dream customer is, what lights her up, what she values, and how she wants to feel. But here's the thing. Knowing your dream customer isn't enough. You have to meet her where she already is. You've got to show up in the spaces where she's scrolling, listening, engaging, and shopping. That's what visibility is all about. And not just showing up everywhere, but showing up with intention in the right places. Choose the platforms that match her energy. Let's be honest. We live in an age where there are dozens of platforms calling our name. Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, email, podcasts, blogs, and the list goes on and on. And while that might feel overwhelming, here's some good news. You don't have to be everywhere. You just need to be where she is. Ask yourself, what kind of content does she enjoy? Inspiration, tutorials, behind the scenes? Is she more of a visual scroller like Pinterest or Instagram? Does she like bite-sized tips and relatable stories like on Threads or TikTok? Does she check her email regularly? Does she binge podcasts while cleaning or commuting? Your goal isn't just to pick platforms you like. It's to choose platforms that feel aligned for her. Where is she already showing up? That's where you need to be. Where I found my people and where I didn't. For Pretty Pineapple Bead, I've learned that my dream customers hang out on Instagram, read emails when they're thoughtful and engaging, and scroll Pinterest for color and inspiration. I've dabbled in TikTok, but it's just not the place where I feel like I'm connecting deeply with my audience. And that's okay. It's better to show up fully in a few places than barely show up on 10 different platforms. I focus my energy where I know my dream customer is. Instagram Reels and carousels to inspire and educate. Stories with polls to learn about what she loves. Email to connect and build trust. My blog for those deeper evergreen resources. And Threads and Pinterest to stay visible and share value. That's what works for my dream customer. Yours might look differently. Be consistent, not exhausted. One big myth I see new business owners fall into believing is that they have to be everywhere to be seen. But spreading yourself too thin just leads to burnout and inconsistent messaging. Here's your permission slip to choose your visibility strategy with intention. You don't need to be loud, you need to be clear. You don't need to go viral, you need to be valued. When you show up consistently with a clear message and personality, your dream customer will start to notice, and eventually, she'll start to show up for you. Here's a couple tips for building visibility with alignment. Start where you already are. If you love Instagram and your dream customer is there, go all in. Use reels, stories, and your bio strategically. Repurpose smart. Turn your blog post into a carousel, your reel into a pin, your podcast into an email. One piece of content can fuel many platforms. Engage with your dream customer. Don't just post and ghost. Start conversations in the comments, DMs, and stories. And use her words. If she says your products make her feel joyful or confident, mirror that language back in your captions and emails. Here's a few more journal prompts to help you clarify your visibility strategy. Where does my dream customer spend time online? What platforms make the most sense for her lifestyle? What type of content does she love to engage with? What platform feels most fun for me to show up on consistently? And how can I make my brand more visible in a way that aligns with my dream customer and my energy? When you know where your dream customer is and you show up for her in that space with clarity and consistency, it's magic. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters where it matters. Let it evolve. Your dream customer might change, and so will you. Here's one of the biggest lessons I've learned as a small business owner. Your dream customer will evolve, and so will you. We often treat dream customer like it's a fixed definition, a perfect profile we have to get right from day one. But in reality, your business is a living, breathing thing, and as it grows, you'll grow with it. So it makes sense that your dream customer may shift too. The person you're meant to serve today might look different from the one you thought you'd serve 3 years ago, or even 3 months ago. And that's okay. In fact, it's expected. Growth means change. When I first started Pretty Pineapple Bead, I was just excited to make pretty things and see people smile. I didn't have a clear niche or a dream customer. I honestly was speaking to everyone because I didn't know who I was speaking to yet. But over time, I started noticing patterns. The people who commented most on my posts, the customers who lit up when they found my booth, the ones who kept coming back and telling their friends, they were women like me. They loved color. They saw jewelry as a way to express their personality. They were confident, or at least they were working on it. They were nostalgic, creative, maybe a little bit whimsical. They wanted to feel like their best selves. And once I recognized that, I leaned in. I updated my content. I clarified my messaging. I stopped trying to be for everyone and focused on building something that spoke directly to her. But even now, I know it's not set in stone. As I grow, as I add new offers like DIY parties or even digital products, I might discover a new segment of customers who align with my mission. I might even redefine what my dream customer looks like again, and I'll embrace that. You're not failing, you're refining. If you're listening to this and realizing your current dream customer doesn't quite match who's buying from you, or if your original vision doesn't feel aligned anymore, I want you to know that doesn't mean you got it wrong. It just means you're evolving. It means you're paying attention. It means your business is alive. One of the biggest gifts you can give yourself is permission to keep refining. Your dream customer will get clearer with every post, every product, every launch, and every story you share. In fact, Your first dream customer might have been just the beginning, a stepping stone toward the deeper, truer version you're stepping into now. Here's a few journal prompts to help you reflect more. In what ways have you grown since starting your business? Does your original dream customer still reflect who you want to serve now? Have you noticed new patterns or people who resonate more with your current content? And are there parts of your audience you've outgrown or you want to expand into? Take your time with these questions. Really let them sit with you. This is where your clarity lives, not in the first draft, but it's in the refining. Wow, what a journey. You just explored a deep dive into one of the most foundational pieces of your business, your dream customer. Whether this is brand new for you or you're revisiting it with fresh eyes, I want to leave you with a challenge that brings everything together. Here's this week's challenge. Start building your dream customer profile. You don't need to get it perfect. You just need to start. Here's a few questions to help guide you. What is she passionate about? What does she believe in? What lights her up? What problems or desires is she navigating? Where is she already spending her time online? And most importantly, how do you want her to feel when she interacts with your brand? You can journal it, type it, voice note it, whatever works for you. And if you've already done this work in the past, your bonus challenge is to revisit and refine. See what's still aligned and what's changed since you last looked at it. Let's connect. When you're ready, send me a DM on Instagram at Sparkle and Shine Podcast or tag me in your stories. Tell me one thing you discovered about your dream customer or one thing that surprised you as you started this process. I'd love to cheer you on, answer questions, or just hold space while you work through it. You don't have to build your business alone. You're part of a community now, and I'm so glad you're here. That's it for today's episode, friend. I hope this gave you some real clarity and a whole lot of confidence as you connect with the person your business was made for. You don't have to shout into the void anymore. You just have to speak directly to her, the one who sees your post and says, "Wow, this was made for me." If you found this episode helpful, would you do me a favor? Share it with a biz bestie who's also trying to figure out her dream customer, or tag me in your story so I can cheer you on. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep dreaming big, keep taking messy action, and keep sparkling.